As you listen to these words, you may begin to notice a subtle, perhaps uncomfortable realization. Most people you meet are not truly alive. They are biological machines, sophisticated puppets programmed to react. If you insult them, they flare with anger. If you praise them, they beam with pride. If you ignore them, they crumble into insecurity. Their emotions are strings, and the world, their boss, their partner, the news cycle, is constantly pulling them.
But you are here because you are tired of being pulled. You've felt that heat in your chest when someone disrespects you. You've felt that hollow ache of regret after reacting too quickly, saying something that gave away your power. You are seeking the dark art of emotional control, not because you want to be happy, but because you want to be unshakable. In the next few minutes, we will dismantle the reactive amateur living inside you and rebuild your mind into a fortress of marble and shadow. By the end of this journey, you will no longer be a victim of your impulses. You will be their master. Every time you lose your temper, you leak your life force. In the world of high-stakes influence and dark psychology, anger is not a sign of strength, it is a confession of weakness. It is a signal to your enemy that they have found a way inside your walls. When you react instantly to a provocation, you become predictable. And in the game of power, predictability is a death sentence. Think of the modern landscape. Social media is designed to keep you in a state of constant emotional agitation. Your workplace is a minefield of ego and hidden agendas. If you cannot control your internal weather, you will forever be a slave to those who can. Every outburst, every defensive text, every night spent ruminating on an insult is a victory for those who wish to see you fail. You are essentially handing them the keys to your kingdom. The amateur thinks that by shouting, they show power. The master knows that the one who remains silent and cold is the one who truly commands the room.
The ancient Stoics possessed a secret that modern psychology is only now beginning to quantify. They called it prosoche, the constant state of self-attention. But we will call it the shadow's pause. Between any stimulus and your response, there is a microscopic sliver of time. For the average person, this gap doesn't exist. The stimulus and response are fused together in a chaotic explosion. But as you train your mind, you will begin to notice this gap expanding. It becomes a vast, cold hole of marble where you stand alone. When someone insults you, you do not react. Instead, you step into the pause. In this space, the insult does not touch you. You look at it as a scientist looks at a specimen. You ask, why is this person trying to trigger me? What is their hidden intent? By the time you choose to speak, if you choose to speak at all, the emotional fire has already burned out, leaving only the cold steel of a calculated move. This is the ultimate form of dominance. While others are drowning in their own adrenaline, you are breathing the thin, clear air of pure logic. This is where you realize that your emotions are not you. They are simply tools in your arsenal to be deployed or discarded at your command. To master this art, you must adopt 3 specific protocols of the Stoic shadow. Protocol 1. The view from above. When an emotion begins to rise, be it anger, anxiety, or even overwhelming desire, imagine your consciousness lifting out of your body. Look down at yourself from the ceiling, then from the height of a cloud, then from the stars. See yourself as a tiny figure in a vast, indifferent universe. From this height, your crisis looks like what it truly is, a flicker of dust. This NLP-driven dissociation breaks the chemical grip of the emotion on your nervous system. You aren't suppressing the feeling, you are outgrowing it. Protocol 2. Tactical silence. In any confrontation, your greatest weapon is the void. When provoked, most people feel a desperate need to fill the silence with justifications or counterattacks. Do the opposite. Look them in the eye, remain perfectly still, and say nothing for 3 seconds longer than is comfortable. This silence creates a psychological vacuum. The other person, driven by their own lack of control, will begin to babble, revealing their insecurities and giving you more leverage. You are the mountain. They are the wind that breaks against you. Protocol 3. The memento mori anchor. Dark Stoicism teaches us that death is always in the room. When you feel your control slipping because of a trivial workplace drama or a social slight, remind yourself, I could leave life right now. This isn't morbid, it is a recalibration of value. Does this person's opinion matter in the face of the eternal silence? Of course not. By anchoring yourself in the reality of your own mortality, you make yourself immune to the petty manipulations of the living. You become a ghost in the machine, present but untouchable. As you integrate these protocols, your personality will begin to shift. People will notice a change in your gravity. You will become harder to read and therefore more respected. This is the dark wrapper. You aren't being nice or peaceful because you are weak. You are being calm because you are dangerous. True emotional control is the ability to walk through a burning building and not have your skin scorched. It is the ability to look at your worst enemy and feel nothing but a clinical curiosity. Consider the archetype of the king. A king does not shout to be heard. A king does not explain himself to his subjects. He moves with a calculated economy of motion. Every gesture is intentional. Every word is weighted. When you master your emotions, you are crowning yourself. You are declaring that no external force has the authority to dictate your internal state. You are no longer a participant in the collective hysteria of the masses. You have moved beyond the reach of the puppet master's strings. As this video comes to an end, I want you to take a deep breath and feel the weight of your own body. Notice the stillness that is already starting to settle in your mind. You are beginning to understand that the world cannot hurt you unless you give it permission. The path of the Stoic shadow is a lonely one. Most people prefer the warmth of their illusions and the excitement of their dramas. They would rather be right than be free, but you are different. You have chosen the cold clarity of the marble path. From this moment forward, when the world tries to provoke you, you will smile inwardly. You will recognize the string as it tries to pull, and you will simply let it go slack. You are the architect of your own stillness. You are the commander of your own soul. The noise of the world will continue, but it will be like the sound of distant waves hitting a cliff, meaningless, repetitive, and utterly unable to move the stone. Stay hidden, stay silent, stay in control.